The reason why history repeats, it's precisely because our power, our true essence of who we are, and the power of the correct use of our imagination to build the life of our dreams has all been hidden from us.
You can condition the unconditioned state of consciousness into anything you want it to be. You don't turn yourself into a thing, you turn yourself into a state of being. And at any point, you can melt it down, return to the unconditioned form,
To the
source, and then create a new state of being through your beliefs.
There are people who don't believe in God. There are people who believe in God, but they believe in God outside of themselves, which defeats the purpose. If you can begin your day with meditation, not if you can, one should begin, like make the time. I know we're busy people. I know life is happening, but wake up half an hour earlier than usual and do that for yourself, because believe me, it will be the best thing you did for yourself that day. Because after that, the things that happen will be handled through a different lenses, you know what I mean? From a different point of view. Meditation.
A lot of people struggle with blocking out all of the thoughts that come into your mind when you're trying to meditate. So you find the stillness, you find the moment, you find the space, you find the peace, you close your eyes, and you go in, but you have all these things that are still on your mind. So your first task, the first discipline, is to get them out. And so a lot of these meditative practices, everything from breathing exercises to guided meditations to forms of yoga, where they get you to break out from thinking about all these things which are constantly on your mind, like almost from swiping from one thought to another thought to another thought. Once you break out of that and you're at peace and you're in your imagination, it's a clean slate. The next step after that, and this is where you can realize and break past all of the self-imposed limitations that you have made yourself to believe. You can begin to imagine a different type of life. You can put yourself into a different state of being, because everything is possible in your imagination. And that's all it takes. Because the reason that you can't manifest it in your physical world is because you haven't really believed it, because it's still a limit for you. You can't really feel that you are that thing or that you can be that thing. So you have to feel it in your imagination first. You have to feel it so really that it's more than real. And
so
then
vividly, yeah.
When you come back, it's now possible because you've already felt it. And that begins to break all of these barriers that have been there for so long.
Yeah, because men cannot differentiate between whether they imagine something. When you make it so vividly for yourself, your brain doesn't make a difference whether you imagined it or you lived through it. When you come out of your meditation, you think your body is like, wow, like I just had the most amazing experience in my life. And every cell of your body acknowledges that. Yeah.
And then you can step out of that fusion that you've made, because you've made a fusion. You have a ton of beliefs that you have agreed to. They're yours now. You've assumed them as true. And that's what makes things true. It's interesting how we're made to believe that truth is something that's objective and needs to be agreed upon between a bunch of people. I don't see it that way. I think that truth is, in fact, subjective, and that you should take it on a personal level. That whatever idea you take seriously and you begin to believe, and you have taken that on for yourself as one of your beliefs, it is now true for you. But you've made that fusion. So once you step out of the conception of yourself, and once you step out into the fact that you can conceive of yourself and of anything however you wish to do it. You can choose to believe whatever you wish to believe. You can decouple yourself from that fusion, and with your imagination, you can imagine a different state of beliefs. You can agree to something else. You can take on a different set of choices and create a new fusion, and then step into that reality exactly the same way. And that's how you'll begin to manifest all the other things in your world as well. So to end the story that I was telling you about, the friend who told me that, Alex, I've been chasing being a millionaire for so long, I have realized that I never needed that in the first place. That I already have
it.
I already have everything that I want.
Okay. Can I add to that?
Add to it.
And all mine are thine, and thine are mine. John 17:10. Thrust in thy sickle and reap, for the time is come for thee to reap, for the harvest of the earth is ripe. Revelation 14:15. All is yours. You just said it. You already have it. Do not go seeking for that which you are. Appropriate it, claim it, assume it. Everything depends upon your concept of yourself. That which you do not claim as truth of yourself cannot be realized by you. Do you understand? If you do not claim that something is true about you, you cannot realize it for yourself. So, whatever you want to realize for yourself, you have to claim it, to believe it, that it's true for you, whatever that is. The promise is, whosoever hath, to him it shall be given, and he shall have more abundance. But whosoever hath not, from him shall be taken away even that which he seems to have. Because the poor person believes that they're poor, and so they will continue manifesting
poverty.
The rich person believes he is rich, and he'll continue to get richer and richer. Hold fast in your imagination to all that is lovely and of good report, for the lovely and the good are essential in your life if it is to be worthwhile. Assume it. You do this by imagining that you already are what you want to be and already have what you want to have. As a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. Check this out. This is an experiment that has been conducted by Merle Lawrence from Princeton. Okay, you want some facto de facto? Here it is.
Facto de facto?
You know me. Facto de facto. Here we go. Experiments recently conducted by Merle Lawrence from Princeton and Adalbert Ames from Dartmouth in the latter psychology laboratory at Hanover prove that what you see when you look at something depends not so much on what is there as on the assumption you make when you look. Isn't that interesting?
That matches up, just say very quickly, in this other book that we're reading by Dan Brown, The Secret of Secrets.
Oh yeah, even Dan Brown just came out with a new book, The Secret of Secrets. And you know what the book is about? It is about the fact that the brain indeed creates its own reality. Is that a coincidence? I don't believe in coincidence.
Well, that was the example. I'm not sure. We haven't finished the book, so I don't know if that's the...
But this is what the book is about.
Well.
Yeah. Anyway, but I'm just saying, when you start looking, things they show. And then remember, nothing is accidental in life. Right? So, since what we believe to be the real physical world is actually only an assumptive world, it is not surprising that these experiments prove that what appears to be solid reality is actually the result of expectations or assumptions. Scientifically proven, yo. Your assumptions determine not only what you see, but also what you do. For they govern all your conscious and subconscious movements towards the fulfillment of themselves. Over a century ago, this truth was stated by Emerson as follows: as the world was plastic and fluid in the hands of God, so it is ever to so much of his attributes as we bring to it. To ignorance and sin, it is flint. They adapt themselves to it as they may, but in proportion as a man has anything in him divine, the firmament flows before him and takes his sign and form. Your assumption is the hand of God molding the firmament into the image of that which you assume. The assumption of the wish fulfilled is the hide ride which lifts you easily off the bar of the senses where you have so long lain stranded. You see? So, in this world, the world of senses, you basically believe only the things you see, you touch, you feel. This is what's real for you. But when you are using your imagination in that world, there are no dimensions. And you experience things there so vividly, that when you come back with that truth, with that knowledge. And you carry it within yourself. Your cells, they know that. So all of a sudden, you realize that you don't have to see it to believe it. You believe it before you saw it. Or you can say, I saw it in my mind's eye. That's why I believe it. It's coming. Now I just need patience, because I also need preparation, right? Because remember I told you the crown is heavy. You have to rise in consciousness and prepare yourself mentally in order to receive the crown. Because if you're not ready, how can you receive that gift and then not harm yourself with it, for instance? Yeah.
Remember how we were reading, and Walter Russell said something about how the forms that manifest in this world, the forms that manifest in the physical world, are kind of like a ledger. Right? But everything already exists.
Everything already exists.
The form in which it manifests is only taking record of the consciousness which can manifest as everything else, as anything else. So, you can be anything you want to be, is the point.
Yes.
If you believe it.
You can be anything. The moment.
And it already exists here. It's not a matter of working towards it. This is the biggest, I think, trick, misconception, misunderstanding, that you have to work really, 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 really hard in order to achieve what you want to achieve.
No.
You're chasing something which is an expression of a belief. You're going to chase it forever. Like my friend who's been chasing to be a millionaire his entire life, until he realized, I already am wealthy. I have everything I need. I have all the health. I have all the love. I'm happy. So what are you chasing in the first place? Another thing that you can do is you can stop acting and being and all these things in the moment for a second and just observe the people around you in any setting. It could be at a dinner setting, it could be at a party, and just observe their energies, because their energies are the way that you see them. Their energies are the way that you've manifested them. Their energies are aligned with your energy. See the environment that you're in. That tells you a lot about your beliefs.
About your inner world.
That tells you a lot about your inner world.
Yeah, because
it's just a projection.
Outer world is just a projection of your inner world. So if there is anything in your outer world you're not okay with, you're not happy with your results, you can change that, not by fighting to change that, but by changing your perspective in your inner world. And then your outer world will follow suit. It's really, really interesting and actually quite simple once you know that, right? But until you know that, it's the rat's race in the wheel, because people are used to changing things from the outside. You know, they fight with like their action, reaction, I can change. But the truth is that you don't have so much time. And the fastest way is the one which defeats time and space, which is in your imagination. This is the quantum physics. There, when you achieve it there, when you achieve it in imagination, when you feel it, when you make it so real for you that you feel it, then that will manifest in your life, because you have impressed your subconscious with your new beliefs. You know what I mean? Yeah.
You know, the unconditioned state of consciousness, that essence, that can condition itself through your active participation in the process, is kind of like the essence of gold, right? So this is a ring, but before that it's gold.
Yeah.
And that essence can be made to be something else, just like steel can be made to be a building. Steel can be made to be a chair. Steel can be made to be anything you want it to be, anything it can be. It's the same with us. You can condition the unconditioned state of consciousness into anything you want it to be. You don't turn yourself into a thing, you turn yourself into a state of being. And at any point, you can melt it down, return to the unconditioned form,
To the source.
And then create a new state of being through your beliefs. I think what has happened and continues to happen, because things go into cycles, is that people forget that they're not chairs, so to speak. That people forget that they're not just chairs, that they're also steel, that there's something greater than that, that there's something more than that. And then the fact that they can be made through their own doing into something else, into a different state of being.
Yeah, people forget their essence. I said this earlier today in the episode, that people have forgotten, we have forgotten who we are. We have forgotten where we come from. We have forgotten our essence. We have forgotten that we're all the same. You know,
your power of creation is the same as God.
The package, yes. The package is irrelevant. The essence is what matters. And that essence is all the same within each and every individual on this planet Earth. And God is, how did you just say it? I loved the expression. Repeat. You just said it. About God.
Your power of creation is the same power as God.
This is what God gave us. He is within us. We are one with God. We are gods.
We are that expression. We are the expression of God.
On earth, we are the creators. We can create anything. We have to remember that and then use that to the best possible advantage of humanity and the planet Earth.
It's
creation, not destruction.
It's an open door. They say that God dwells within you. You have to let him in, though. You have to not forget that the conditioned states, which is all the limitations of who you are, I am a something.
Yeah. I am.
Yes.
Okay.
But at the same time, you can be something else. You can be anything else.
Not just something else. You can be anything you want. Anything you want.
Don't impose limitations on yourself.
Yes, whatever. Exactly. So whatever concept you have of yourself right now that you are, you can change this concept instantly. You can erase the previous concept completely, entirely. And you can create a new concept for yourself. And that means that you have rise in consciousness. Do you understand? You acquire a different set of beliefs for yourself, a new concept for yourself, therefore a new perspective on the world. and of yourself. And all of a sudden, life is different. Life is beautiful. And you can keep on doing this over and over and over again. When you discover your aim in life, the purpose, your purpose, you will be searching to acquire the states of being that are necessary for the realization of your purpose. You know what I mean? It's part of your path. It's part of your journey. So it becomes really beautiful. It is about the journey. Eventually, it is nothing else. It's not about the destination. It becomes personal. It becomes powerful, empowering. It is very powerful to remember how beautiful you are, how powerful you are. So remember that. Remember who you are.
I like to think of it in terms of islands sometimes.
Islands?
Islands. Your current state of being that you're on is an island of the known.
Oh, yes.
You can sail out into the open sea.
Yeah.
And there's an infinite number of other islands that you can land on. And when you first get there, you don't really know all of the plots and all of the things that are going to unfold there, all of the truths that will unfold there. But you can choose to explore that island if you want.
Yes, and you can choose to ditch the other island that is confining you and defining you in a limited way. Yeah. The force is with you. The power is within you. As you can see, life can be much different than the one we know. And I'm a firm believer that humanity is heading in the right direction. But I think we need more soldiers of light to unite in a sense of being the examples that are necessary for other people to see and be inspired by. Lead with example.
It's really all about believing in yourself and understanding that you already have all of the things that you want. And
not seeing yourself separately from the rest of the people. It's seeing yourself one with them, one with God and one with them, because you're looking at souls. You're not looking at packages.
And
you're not looking at avatars. You're looking at essences. Okay? So believing in yourself.
Gold is gold.
And feeling the oneness. Does it get any more beautiful than that? Isn't it freeing? Isn't it empowering? Isn't it a life full of beauty and potential?
It's interesting to take an inventory of your beliefs sometimes, your thoughts, and see which of them are divisive, which of them, separate things from one another, and which of them unite things.
Most of them, because the truth is that I don't know a person who went through their life and was taught of the truth that we are all one. They don't teach this in school. They didn't teach it to your grandparents, to my grandparents, to my parents, and so on and so forth. They don't teach that.
The truth they teach you is common knowledge.
It's common knowledge,
it's what's accepted at the current time.
Yes,
but that truth changes.
I hate that because it arrives to you today. Any type of information. It could be any information. It could be information about your race. It could be information about your country. It could be information about how to raise a baby, how to care for a baby. And it's just this information that is passed down to you, and you find yourself just being told how things are done in this situation, and you just do that because that's how they did it, and that's how they did it, and that's how they did it, and you're doing it because you're, well, if they did it like that, then that's how it needs to be done. You almost like it, you're not even giving yourself a chance to question it. Is it still relevant? Is it current for the times? What if my instinct is telling me that this is wrong and things can be done in a different way? Who said it needs to be done in such a way? Do we see, this is the problem with schools. Schools are part of the bad guys, the guys who are very much interested in controlling. So to control is to have order. And so when you go to school, when your curiosity and imagination is stripped off of you because you're taught to conform, then what happens is that you're growing up, and all of a sudden, not all of a sudden, actually slowly but certainly, you start being afraid of being different, of asking questions, of thinking differently. Because if you're different, then maybe something is wrong with you. And if you express a different thought that is different than the common belief, then what's wrong with this guy? And then you're embarrassed, especially if this happens in your teenage years, right? So it becomes a big problem. You go through your life being afraid to be different, to think different, to ask questions, and you just you line up with the rest of the people, afraid to lift your head above the line and ask questions and be different. And I just want people to wake up, to remember who they are, to start asking questions, to dare to be different in whatever manner they want to be, but with the idea that they believe in themselves and their purpose is more important than any problem they're currently dealing with. Because whatever they discover as purpose is that special gift that their soul is here back on earth to deliver to the rest of us and to the planet, to make this world a better place. So looked at from that perspective, things all of a sudden take a completely different scale. All of a sudden, you're not this small person that you're led to believe. All of a sudden, having a different opinion is actually makes sense, doesn't it? And it's okay to be different. And if somebody points that something is wrong with you because you have a different opinion, you're okay with that because you know your truth and you believe in yourself, and nobody can make you feel small and smush it down and like stop you from following your purpose and delivering your message and sharing your gift with the rest of us. The reason why history repeats, it's precisely because our power, our true essence of who we are, and the power of the correct use of our imagination to build the life of our dreams has all been hidden from us throughout the history. And so without these two truths, what happens? You go about your life and then you get old, and all of a sudden you're mid-crisis because you keep looking for, you're confused. You're like, is this what life is about? Is this all there is to life? Is there anything else? Is there anything I missed? Did I do something wrong? Like something is missing. You're completely thrown off, completely messed up. You don't know what's what. And time has passed. Some people go through their lives and then they die, and they never even get even this close to what they could have done with their life if they had the free time to hear their thoughts, go within, find out, connect with their soul, find out who they are, what their purpose is, and then be inspired to deliver this to the rest of us.
To follow their dreams.
So yeah, history repeats because the truth was hidden. But now the truth is coming out. More and more people realize that God is not what we were told that God is, because there are people who don't believe in God. There are people who believe in God, but they believe in God outside of themselves, which defeats the purpose. Do you understand? And when you try to tell them that God is within, all of a sudden they look at you and they're like, you've lost your mind. Oneness. Oneness is home. And oneness is a place where we can lead with love, compassion, joy, being present. It's an attitude where one is concerned with being, not with having. And I think that this is the key to what's coming. And we are right at the threshold. We're right there. And we got this. We all did. We all do. Believe in yourself. Keep asking questions. We got this.
Till next
See you
time.
next time.